A dead end?
No, there's an elevator. Looks operational.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Danans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share about Almadria. You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail. This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Till then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like, I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almadria?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegus.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegus. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almadria did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almadria do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almadria resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
so good. Are you alright?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almadria were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almadria did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almadria, right?
Yeah. hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know though, maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidrea's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia, the lush green glades of Menancia, the harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its lake of death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually managed to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almadria. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Xian, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it, in which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Xian said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Like this should be easy.
Bring him down! Far enough!
This one's mine!
I'm going in! I can carve through armor!
Here, ice prism! Or sealed!
Rising light!
Reload! One last one! This works!
I'll trip it up.
Water astral energy! Into the shadows! Here's another!
Everlasting
Be
dark.
still!
Negative
You picked
gate.
the wrong fight!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Go no further! In here!
No further.
You'll have no mercy!
I'm ready.
I see one, eh?
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Ready and ready! Both
Split it open.
Be my guest!
Won't save you.
do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone. A comfortable win.
Got it! That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving. Little help! Hear me! I've risen! Here's the evil! I've risen! Glory one! Celestial hammer! Bullseye! Arch you going? Lightning condemned! Sealed! Holy Lamb! Here's some! Bullseye!
You picked the wrong fight!
Hydration orb!
Double Demon Fang! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
What's this thing?
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Not on my watch!
Eternal Devastation!
Eruption! Back into the fray! I'll have to take my revenge on you! Here's another! Purge Maleficent!
The enemy wields our truth.
You'll soon see about that!
I'm ready.
I'll be saving this one! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The waters of creation magnificent! Turn away! One more! Do it! Tourmaline!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Regenerate! Lunar corruption!
Allow me to help you.
Tidal wave!
Not today!
Tell me, have you ever considered your purpose in life?
Here goes! I never miss! Light astral energy! I'm only started! Do it!
Radiant light.
In an instant! Impact Clock!
Raging storm!
Tornado!
I see it! Flame! Certainly not bad. No complaints here.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Not in your dreams.
Here I come. This one's all mine.
Freeze Lancer! I can do this all day! You'll pay for what you did!
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
Your malevolence! Arctic Waterfall! In here!
Double Demon Fang.
One last! The waters of free blah 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 magic! Tidal Wave! Do it!
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Get lost! Malevolence! Arctic Waterfall!
Take down their defenses.
Do it! Kisara, frozen!
Hammer.
Here goes! Lunar Wetland! Arctic Waterfall! Freeze Lancer! Handle this! Titan Hill! Bow tie ready! Bow tie flash! Do it!
Jolie. Hey! Blow them away. Step back. This one's all law.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I have no limits.
Immortal cover the capture! Magic advance! Tidal Wave! Harsh Malevolence! Arcade Waterfall!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Hear my bell! One last one!
You go. Elusive deity. Eagle rising forward.
Hear my
No
call!
further. Rising phoenix. I'll
Red!
smash you.
Glacial Spear!
Rising orb. Soaring light spear.
Freeze Lancer! Here's the next one! Radiant Touch! Go get it!
Demon Fang. Blood.
Astral Beast.
That's my cue!
Shut him down.
Freeze Lancer!
Demon Fang.
Do it! Take that!
Jolie. Hey. Blow them away.
A comfortable win.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from. This is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Hey, look at that enemy! It's shining!
This one will be difficult to predict.
Arcade Waterfall! Piercing in here! Freeze Lancer! Follow that kick!
Soaring blood. Take that. Rising orb.
Sleep now!
Radiant light. Eat dirt.
Here's the
SD
waters of
airborne
creation!
scoundrels.
Astral Arts?
Sounds like a job for you, truly!
Shut him down.
Smash you.
Here's lightning condemned! Thunderblade! Photon flash! Hydration orb! One last one! Here I never miss! Hit! One last one! Light astral energy! Here's Kisara, frozen!
Hammer.
We managed to pull through.
Megasonic thrust!
Another incantation ruined.
Finish it! Radiant light! Sword rain out!
In a bind, shattering to pieces!
Attack time!
I'll smash you! Catapult!
Air thrust! Healing thrust! Hydration force! Photon! Charge to the left! Here goes by the power of water! This one's mine! Lunar Corruption! By the power of water! Ice Prison! Mega Ray! Now not my watch! Swallow Flight! I never miss! Celestial Hammer! Hit! One more!
Burn!
Ice Prison! Lunar Blast! One last one!
Here I come!
Purge Malevolence! Don't get in my way!
Anything in
Here,
order is
let me
all
help.
mine!
First aid! Freeze Lancer! Here I go! Swallow Flight! Here! Celestial! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Ice Prison!
Can't get out of this!
Nothing gets by me.
A charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Arc Shield!
Take this!
Now you see what I can do!
Ice Prison!
You picked the wrong fight!
By the power of that is your dream! Annihilation! Ice Prison! Not an option! Do it! Alpin! Astral Energy!
Say no more.
I need to be stronger.
Looks like some solid equipment.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Ice Prison! Healing Circle!
Rising Falcon!
Glacier Fire! Bullseye!
I'll grind you into
Freeze Laser! Hit! Ice Prison! Where are you going?
Negative
Leave the charges to me.
Here's a healing! First aid! Field!
Burn in hell!
The waters of creation! Magic is there! Tidal wave! Hit! Water!
to save you! Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Arch Shield!
Finish it!
Select Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer.
Hit!
Here I come!
Bullseye! Raging Sword!
Blood.
Celestial Ray!
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go. These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zoogles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here. This is...
Discourteous, aren't you?
Got you now!
Freeze Lancer! Not my watch!
Resonate with the earth!
Freeze Lancer! I'm not losing! Back around here! Field!
In a bind,
I've got waters of creation to handle it!
the enemy wields
All
ours
yours!
too.
We'll soon
picked
see
the
about
wrong
that!
fight.
Here's a healing!
Strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Now you see what I can do!
Holy Land! Here's one last one!
I'll stop stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Glacial Spear!
Rising
Line! Freeze Lancer! Hydration Orb! Here's a healing arm! Light Astral Blade! Arctic!
Nothing
Where
gets
are
by
you
me.
going? Sleep now! Magic Shazam! Tidal Wave! Not on my watch!
Severing wing!
Annihilation! Seal!
Deny!
Rending you apart!
Here's a Illuminati!
Bloody hell!
Holy Land! Here's a Daring Flame!
Anything in armor is all mine! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction.
Light Astral Energy! I can't kill you forever! Here's another! Light Astral...
I can carve through armor!
Photon Blast! Celestial Energy! I'll heal you all!
This one's mine! You won't make a
Flawless
fool of
Light!
me!
Healing Circle! Celestial Honor! Take that!
Not done yet!
Here goes!
All yours, Kisara!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
A barrier. That may indicate Almadria is near.
Then we've got to find a way to get through somehow!
Let's see if we can find something that'll release it.
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria.
Hi, Hoodle! They really don't give up, do they? Where are you going? Lunar blast! In here! Do it!
A comfortable win.
This might go well in that new recipe.
Can't wait to see what you make.
You're the one making it.
Let's see what you've got.
Sleep now. You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
A scream.
It's almost too strong! Split it up! Be my guest!
Do it! Go ahead!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! Barely. A blip on our radar.
What's this thing?
Little help!
Now you'll learn! Damn it!
In an instant!
Impact Block! Now! Here I come!
With
the earth! Dragon Swarm!
More
Eternal Devastation!
I'm all started
Take this!
up.
Hurricane Flood!
Defense line!
No further! Here I come! Pierce through! Dragon Swarm!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Astral energy!
Say no more! Onward and upward. What's this thing?